The Philippines is known as Asia's melting pot because of the variety and uniqueness of their food. Rarely will people see members of a Filipino family eating at different times of the day or eating while fixated solely on the TV screen. This is because mealtime in Filipino households is supposed to bring the family together. But one thing about us Filipinos, and I'm sure everyone will agree, that we have unique eating habits that set us apart from the other people of the world. Do you believe so? Hi, my name is Rene with RLumbang MyMEDIA and RLight Media, bringing you the last and the final chapter of our series, The Chronicles of the Filipino Food Culture, entitled The Filipino Eating Habits. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe only here on your information channel. Today you're going to learn some of the most common eating habits that make Pinoys differ from the other. Here are the top eating habits that every Juan de la Cruz of the country, and topping the list is Pinoys eat more than 3 times a day. For many, breakfast, lunch, and dinner are all typically big meals. A Filipino breakfast, for example, consists of rice, eggs, meat, and a lot of times bread or pandesal. But again, aside from eating the usual 3 big meals, we Pinoys would also have, or at the very least for those who can still afford, Segundo Almuerzo, a Spanish term for the second breakfast, which is normally done around 10 to 10:30 in the morning and mid-afternoon snack between 3 to 4 p.m. The two in-between light meals, also known as merienda, is a ritual that the Filipinos adopted from the Spaniards who colonized the Philippines for more than 500 years. Many people are surprised at just how much Filipinos eat in a day. This tradition can also be credited back to the people who live in the rural areas, where the day usually starts at 4 a.m. and grabbing a bite several times during the day is really essential. Number 2 is, it's not a meal without rice. Pinoys love rice. They cannot go in a day without including the rice in their meals. Filipino meals usually serve with a big bowl of rice and several viands in the middle of the dining table. This is also the reason why viands or ulam in the Philippines are always very rich in flavor, because the rice's neutrality will balance it out. Funnily enough, Filipinos have also a default way of how their food on their plate be arranged. The rice is centered at the bottom of the plate, close to the eater, and viands are arranged around it. This is the most convenient way, since Filipinos will normally take a bit of viand, pushing it onto their spoon with a fork, and then portion of a bigger amount of rice and pushing it toward their spoon. The magic of sausawan and condiments. Remember our second episode, please pass the patis. Filipinos are fond of eating their ulam with sausawan or condiments since they enrich the flavor of the dish. Different people have different preferences, but the ulam plus sausawan pairings will depend on their tastes based on how well one complements the other. So sweet meat will most likely be paired with vinegar for a little bit of sour taste, and a plain tasting kind of fish might be paired with salty soy sauce and calamansi. Among the most famous kinds are on your screens. Just name it, Pinoys have savory concoction of condiments on hand. Some even maximize the use of gravy in case of KFC and turn it into a sabaw or soup poured on the rice. I usually do that also. Our number 4, Kamay versus Kutsara Tinidor. Ever heard of the saying that you are not a true Filipino unless you learn how to eat with your hands? It has already been part of our culture and stems back to the early times when we could not afford the spoon and fork. Now it comes of the tradition, especially if local cuisine is served or if the meal is presented in banana leaves. A common Filipino joke is that food tastes better pag kinakamay. While most Filipinos today eat using spoon and fork, the traditional way of eating Kamayan was the customary way of eating in the Philippines. Pinoys often eat this old school way, although nowadays eating with your hands is usually done in the comforts of your own home. Rarely do people eat with their hands in restaurants unless it's a special seafood or boodle fight style restaurants. And when you do need to eat with spoon and fork, eating with a spoon instead of a knife is much easier for the Filipinos as there is more room for the rice to rest. Number 5, no leftover, please. Filipinos don't like wasting food and are ingenious when it comes to making sure no animal body parts goes to waste when cooking up a dish. The use of all parts of an animal began as a result of Spanish colonization. Filipinos were servants and were only given scrap to eat. On the other hand, the nationally loved sisig, a dish originally from Pampanga and made mostly of the parts of a pig face, was first created in an attempt to use of the unwanted cats, thrown away by what was then a U.S. Air Force base in the country. Number 6, balot and other delicacies. Sure, many Filipino delicacies can appear unusual to some, but to be able to say you truly immerse yourself in the rich Philippine food culture, it is very important to be fearless and an adventurous eater, willing to try everything at least once. Here are the top Filipino foods you must try. I'm so excited to present it to you. And they are: balot is probably the most internationally famous street food eaten by Filipinos. Let's see how foreigners will react when they try to eat one.
Fertilized duck embryo.
Oh,
So see all that delicious
gosh.
juice on the top?
Yeah.
You're gonna drink that.
are you serious? Oh my god. What is that?
That's the embryo.
I don't want to eat him.
So do you see its little head and its little
Oh
feet?
my god.
Marshmallow and hot dog on stick. Kids love hot dogs, kids love marshmallows. Why not combine the two? Marshmallow hot dogs are often served at kids' birthday parties, and it's a tradition to serve them for a kid's first birthday party. Soup number 5. Soup number 5 is particularly disgusting for most foreigners because it is made from ari ng baka or bull or ox genitals, chicken head, betamax, and isaw. These are often grilled on sticks and served as street food. Chicken heads and similar grilled delicacies are also used as pulutan. That is eaten while you
I know
drink.
what that is.
So up next is a Filipino favorite, isa or grilled intestines, and betamax, which is grilled blood curd.
It's actually not that bad. People find it disgusting, but you tell them what it is.
Number 5, chicharon bulaklak. A local delicacy called chicharon bulaklak is actually fried pig intestines. Chicharon bulaklak is often served with chili, onion, and vinegar. Number 6, Adidas or chicken feet. Named after the famous brand of shoes, Adidas has a distinct texture different from the rest of the chicken's meat. Number 7, fried frog. During the colonization period, an abundance of frog, crickets, worms, and other insects that you cannot imagine you will be able to see in your table to be served. As a birth of Pampanga's exotic cuisine, fried frogs taste like chicken. Number 8, kamaru. Kamaru or mole crickets are rice-filled crickets that basically feed themselves with the rice grains and leaves and said to have protein and vitamin B. Number 9, tuslok buwa is basically a Cebuano dip made from pig's brain, pork liver, or intestines. Often balls of sticky rice delicacy called puso are dipped into this dish. And number 10, tamilok are woodworms which taste like your familiar oyster. It's a famous delicacy found on the beautiful island of Palawan. Well, it only shows that every parts of the animals are indispensably edible and there's no leftover. Please. Number 7, Pinoys are great advocates of fiestas. In the Philippines, life is one big celebration. And when there's a celebration, can food be not far behind? Food brings people together. And eating is treated as a social affair. This is also the reason why a feast is always at the center of any celebration. Each city or barrio has at least one fiesta to celebrate. If you live in the Philippines, you cannot stay in a place for at least a year without attending a fiesta or two. And when eating time comes, Pinoys usually stack as much as they can on one plate, all at the same time. Menudo, embutido, fried chicken, lumpiang Shanghai, and a separate platito for fruit salad and leche flan. We also love meat during these times. So what makes Filipino unique? Filipinos are known to be resilient people. They are like the chameleon who easily adapts to different environments. They try to survive, and survival of the fittest is the game Pinoys play. The melting pot theory that is evident in this culture makes the country a vibrant, exciting, and diverse place to live and visit. Having said that, I hope you learned something from this episode. Truly, knowing your Filipino food culture is something that you can be very proud of. As always, love and peace to all. Have a great day. Peace. This is because mealtime in Filipino households is supposed to bring the family together. The family together.